Viltrox, what were you thinking? Last year you took our hearts away with this little beauty, the 13mm for Fujifilm, and now pulling at my heartstrings at least is this 75mm F1.2 Pro, shooting us right now wide open on the XH2S. What is going on? Let's look at this up close, get some random test samples on the go. I'm going to give it another month or so before I put my final thoughts together for you. That's going to be in a few minutes, of course. And then, yeah, it'll be over to you in the comments below. Is this really an early contender for Lens of the Year for 2023? And I know it's very early, but, you know, just is it going to go on that list of potentials? Let's crack on. Right, we are greeted with a user manual. You've got it in a few languages, and I'm sure Viltrox can provide other languages if need be. Warranty card. Now, let us know in the comments if you've ever had to use the warranty on a Viltrox lens, because I haven't, but as part of the customer experience, I think it's important. Now, we've got a little pouch here, which is rather cool because it's a baggie. Very, very similar to the bag I've got for my Canon EF 200mm. I do like a good bag. That is very nice. Well done, Mr. Viltrox. I think it's a Mr. Could be a Mrs. Let's see. Oh, yeah. As somebody said on Instagram, tasty. Pro badge. So that's all you need to know. We've got an AF MF switch. That's a nice solid switch. We've got click. We've got the A mode. We've got clicks from 1 to 16, and then a harder stop at the end. That's pretty decent. Relatively loose, but not too bad. Manual focusing, actually a little bit heavier. Pretty cool. Now, there are 11 diaphragm blades, 16 elements in 11 groups. So a lot of glass, hence the size. You know, some of us are into our smaller lenses. This is obviously a 1.2, so take that into account. We've got plastic lens hood, metal body, all weighs 670 grams, snap cap on the top. And look at that, 77mm filter thread, 88 centimeters, minimum focus, maximum magnification 0.1 times. Yeah, let's see what's on the other side. The mount is business as usual with a USB-C port for firmware updates. Now, Viltrox have been fairly good with firmware updates in the past, so let's see how that goes. Full frame equivalent for us slightly older folk, 115mm with an angle of view of 21.35 degrees. Yeah, STM focus motor in here. Should really line that up and do it properly, but there it is. Dust and moisture proof. What else is there to say? Actually, I do have next to me this. Do you remember this? 8518, absolute bargain quality lens. And I know some of you will be wondering whether you should stick with it or get it, because it is cheaper than this. Now, you can see this 85 doesn't have an aperture ring. You can use a command dial. I'm perfectly happy with that. Obviously, there's a difference in focal length, slight difference, which might be something for you. And there's an even slighter difference in aperture. But yeah, I'm not sure really you're going to want both. Might be a personal preference thing, might even be a budget thing, but this has done me proud for a while now. This is the Mark 1 version. Wouldn't mind trying the Mark 2 version to see how that fares. But yeah, these days it's all about the Pro. Feels good, looks good for what it's worth. I think this is going to be better on the bigger body, so I might try and get it on the H2 or the H2S. If not, we might just stick with the T4 as that's going to be the cheaper body now going forward, although it is a bit smaller and this is a little bit chunky, for want of a better word. Anyway, yeah, let's see how she fares. After giving this a couple months of, proper use, my initial impressions haven't changed much at all. I still love the build and handling, even if it's a little bulkier and heavier than I personally would have liked. An f1.2 at this focal length, yeah, a lot of you will say it's gonna be heavier, but look at the 76mm 1.2, even the latest version, and the 90mm f2, even the 85 from Viltrox, that's lighter, but it is what it is. It's definitely better suited to the H series than my beloved T series, but I can live with that. Yeah, as for build and handling, man, yeah, I'm really happy with this lens. It's definitely a step up on the 85 1.8 that they put out, a quality lens at a great price. But yeah, I think the dust and moisture protection will be a big pro for many of you too. Now, I didn't really get to test out the dust and moisture protection that much, so I'd love to hear from you guys and girls about your experiences on that front. Now, here's a few autofocus tests on the X-H2S. I shot it in open gate. I mean, one, because I'm absolutely loving open gate, and two, so we can see the full sense of performance for what it's worth. See what you think. Of course, it's not the fastest lens out there, even on the latest bodies. It's definitely working hard to move all that glass around, but personally, and I'll probably repeat this, but it's good enough for me. Maybe it'll get updated soon. And I know the H2S has been updated since I recorded the tests. Now, for some, the autofocus will be the weak link. I'm not sure what you're shooting, but for what I want the lens for, it's fine. If you need something faster, you might need the 90mm. Anyway, let's check out some more unedited shots around Stratford upon Avon. Sharpness wide open really is excellent. It's not too much. The lens is definitely more than suitable for portraits, but even a more general subject is well looked after with this lens. Edge to edge, it's very decent too. Color rendering is also excellent, as is micro contrast at most apertures. Now, here's a quick test where the only thing that changes is the aperture. As always, I won't adjust the exposure So the changes you see through the shots are exactly as they came out from the camera. Chromatic aberration and fringing are not present, or at least I haven't noticed any yet. Distortion is also a non-issue, and the wide open vignetting is very easy to correct. Now that all-important bokeh, they're calling it the king. Yeah, of course it's important with this lens, and it doesn't disappoint. I'm more than happy shooting this wide open. Honestly, the lens does so well that Pro badge right there when my T4 wants to focus, I think it's really well deserved. Yeah, let's look at the final set of unedited shots. And yes, I was going to use a bunch of portrait shoots for the test shots in this video, but I really enjoy the versatility of the lens out and about. So here we go, one more time as the song goes. The big question is, will this retail at $5 to $5.50 or even the $451.55 delivered, pounds that is, sorry, that the initial pre-order run went out for? Maybe by the time I can put this video out, that question will have been answered. So based on that, if it's anywhere near the $455.50 figure, then wow, this is brilliant. And for me, you know, it's a must-buy lens if you're into this kind of thing. As a big fan of wide aperture lenses, this ticks most of the boxes and will probably become a permanent fixture in my kit bag for weddings, documentary shoots in smaller venues, definitely portrait shoots. You know, it's all good. Yes, it's a little large for me to take on my travels, and I'm always interested in smaller gear anyway, but you know, this does almost everything I need it to do on the job. Now, if for some reason the retail price ends up being a lot more, it's going to be a tricky one. There is nothing comparable out there on the market, so once again, it's probably a must buy, but maybe you prefer the focal length of the 56 mils, I should say, or the price point of the Viltrox 85-18, and that is perfectly cool too. As our friend Matthias Berling said, Viltrox's biggest competitor may be themselves. Me, I'm super happy with the 75mm, of course. And I'm very curious as to what is next. Maybe something longer, which would be fantastic, please. But what about you? What do you think they should put out next? Let us know in the comments below or wherever they are. Take it easy.